Alright, before we get to the actual point of the video, I'm just gonna do a quick flashback. So about a year ago, sometime between the ending of summer and the beginning of fall, actually 2 years ago, my bad, I watched a show called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this is an actually really good anime. Like, I've been holding out for watching this for literal years because I saw the trailer of Diamonds Unbreakable and thought it was stupid. But yeah, I eventually got around. I watched it, liked it a lot. It's top 10. And now I'm making a video about it. I also did multiple artwork on it. Anyway, it's not important. Back to the actual story. Or not story. Back to the actual video. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure teaches a life lesson that I somewhat noticed after watching it. That people should know. Just generally should know. So let's start from part 1, Dio. Like, Dio's an actual issue literally throughout the entire show. And I'm also going to explain to you guys how he's an issue or how it influences each part separately. And I'm going to hopefully be able to tie all the loose ends. So part 1, Dio. Mr. Joestar adopts Dio, and basically that's part 1. He adopts Dio based off a misunderstanding, and because of that, Dio just, raises an undead army, try to kill JoJo and take, everything. But that's part 1. Jonathan obviously won, and good stuff happened. So we think. Part 2, since Speedwagon helped Jonathan fight Dio, he also had some information on how to fight vampires and stuff, and help Joseph fight against the Pillarmen. This is the least amount of influence Dio has in all the parts. So part 2 isn't really important. But part 3, Dio comes back, because turns out that he kind of took over Jonathan's body, like abducted his body, and he came back. He has a stand now, which his stand is basically to freeze time. That's what his stand allows him. Also, he has ridiculous amount of strength for no reason, and he's immortal. The only thing is he can't touch the sunlight because he's a vampire, so he just turns to dust. But Jotaro and his entire gangs up on Dio. Not gangs up, but they fight Dio, and they manage to save the world. And in part 4, Diamonds Unbreakable, Dio is influenced in this one simply by the fact that the stand arrow he used in part 3 to get his powers is also in this part. Just for some effect, someone found the arrow that the 2 right-hand lady used and used it to start stabbing people and giving them the powers and whatnot. Also, there's some of Dio's subordinates are also in this one, but they're not important, but they kind of are because they influence one of the characters directly. 6, which this is only in the manga, so I'm going to give a very quick, very brief description for people who don't want the show spoiled. But the main villain of that show, Poochie, and yes, it is spelled with 2 C's. It is actually retarded because it's what? Anyways, Poochie is Dio's subordinate, and he's basically trying to accomplish the same goal Dio tried to accomplish when he was alive, which obviously caused problems for everyone. So, the point of the story. It's real simple. I can sum it up in 2 words, but I'm honestly not going to do that. The 2 words are generational curses. Alright, to explain generational curses, just real simple, put in simple terms. Because your ancestors screwed up, everyone else in your family and future generations have to deal with the problem. That's the simplest way to do it. If you want an example, your ancestor or even you could make unwise financial decisions and your family members have to pay off the debt for 2 or 3 generations, who knows. That's just a prime example. But Dio influenced literally everything that happened, or not everything, but a big part influenced part 1 through 6. Just simply because of the mistake Mr. Joestar made in the very first episode. He didn't understand the situation that he was in and therefore adopted Dio. Turns out Dio was an absolute bum and a villain and a madman and stuff. And this actually applies to real life. Not to the extent where you have to save the world, because that's kind of extreme. But it does apply. Like, it actually happens in real life. And JoJo literally showed this, but in a very, very extreme way. Alright. So we do a quick flashback again. Let's go back. I saw 4 years. My friend suggested for me to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I watched the trailer and I refused to watch it when I first saw JoJo, just for the simple fact that it looked super sus. Not even joking, no cap. Judges by its cover, I know, like big no. Even the kindergarten knows not to do that, though they tend to do it anyways. But if I would have watched it then, I wouldn't have picked up the story that I picked up when I did watch it, just for the simple fact that I was way more immature then, and I would have been distracted by the bizarre art style, the power system, and just the simple fact they're just fighting like in every other episode, especially in part 3. Literally. Alright. So now we go to the series side a little bit. I remember having this conversation with my older brother, similar to generational curses. He said people that are wise in their decisions won't have to worry about their families. Like, they'll just be set. They won't have to worry about financial issues or connections or anything of the sort that could cause any hardships for the families. There are going to still be hardships, but there's less because that's how I made the connection that crap. Dio, honestly, there's not going to be a mass murdering vampire who can freeze time attacking the world, but generational curses are a real thing. And just do some like background research. Entrepreneurs talk about it. It's even in the Bible. If you're religious, I am. So like this is a thing that people actually teach about, but no one talks about it. Therefore, I made this quick video to summarize it basically. All right, thank you guys for watching. My gosh, that was a complete failure. Thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it, just for the simple fact that this is the first video I made with an actual script and, you know, actual moral to the story. Though I didn't pay attention to my script at all. If anything, it became a jigsaw puzzle as I made the video because I did not follow it at all. But I still wrote a script. I still had a plan somewhat. So feel free to tell me how I did in the comments, I suppose. And I'm still going to continue doing review videos on animes and stuff. I took a break last week just for the simple fact that I was busy and had to do some stuff in my personal life because, you know, it takes time to make videos and stuff. But, like I said in my previous videos, I will make videos either weekly or bi-weekly on Fridays. So, that's basically it. Peace.